Hi, I'm Tim Crompton, the Director of Athletics at Weber State University, and I want to be the first to welcome you to the campus for the beginning of the 2019-2020 school year. There are many amazing things you're about to experience as a student athlete here at Weber State. Among the many great things, and something that we pride ourselves on, is a strong commitment and culture to compliance with the NCAA, the Big Sky Conference, and Weber State rules. You're about to go through a process to learn some of those rules. For those returning to our program, this should be a good refresher on what those rules are. For those of you joining us for the first time, you will walk away from this experience with a much better understanding of what is expected of you as a student athlete at Weber State University.
Weber State University Athletics has just hired a new employee, standing at 6'3", 290 pounds. He interprets. He educates. He monitors. He eats compliance. He sleeps compliance. He breathes compliance. His name, Compliance Carl.
Bro, how'd you finish your paper so fast?
I paid that nerd to do it.
Compliance Carl. What's up?
The NCAA and Weber State University require you to complete all of your academic work yourself. You may receive permissible help from tutors, but what is turned in must be your own work and effort. Failure to do so in this can result in finding of academic misconduct and can affect your eligibility on the field or on the court.
Whoa. And one.
The most important of all the NCAA rules is the one on ethical conduct. The NCAA requires all of us who are associated with intercollegiate athletes to act with honesty, integrity, and sportsmanship at all times. This applies to behavior on the court and fields of competition, as well as in our academic pursuits. As a student athlete, you are required to provide accurate and complete information that is relevant to the NCAA. Investigations, if one occurs, please uphold the highest standards of the NCAA, Weber State Universities when it comes to ethical conduct. Buckets.
Skipping class to sleep again, huh?
No. I'm sorry.
Come with me.
The NCAA requires that you meet established academic requirements to be eligible to compete in your sport. You have to be enrolled full-time, which is at least 12 credits for undergraduates and at least 9 credits for graduate students. Additionally, you must pass 6 degree applicable credits each semester, and you must pass 18 credits combined in the fall and spring semesters. Okay, it's me again. After your first year, you must pass 24 credits. Thereafter, you have to meet percentage of degree requirements, meaning that after your second year, at least 40% of your degree must be completed. After your third year, at least 60% of your degree must be completed. After your fourth year, at least 80% of your degree must be completed. And you also satisfy GPA requirements and remain in good standing. Members of the football team must also pass 9 degree applicable credits each fall semester. Make sure you speak with your academic advisor with questions you have about your academic eligibility. And if you want to make changes to your course schedule.
Ding ding.
This has never been problematic before.
Hello?
The annoying auditors.
Who is this? You want to be my agent?
You
You come with me.
Amateurism is one of the core pillars that makes the NCAA what it is. Amateurism rules state that student athletes cannot receive compensation for their athletic abilities. You are not eligible for participation in a sport if you have ever accepted pay or the promise of pay for competition in your sport, agreed, either orally or in writing, to compete in professional athletics in that sport, played on any professional athletics team, used your athletic skill for pay in any form in your sport, or entering into an agreement for current or future representation. Rules related to agents must be followed by the student athletes, as well as by your family members or friends. You will lose your eligibility if your relatives or friends accept money, transportation, lodging, entertainment, or other benefits from an agent. They can also compromise your eligibility by negotiating with agents on your behalf. Men's basketball now has its own rules dealing with agents and the NBA draft. Please talk with compliance if you have any questions.
Can I have a job as a student athlete?
If you have a job, the NCAA requires that you are paid the going rate for your work, along with getting paid for work that is actually performed. You are not allowed to be employed or promote a business as a model unless you started before your college years. The NCAA allows you to receive compensation for teaching your sport on a fee-for-lesson basis, provided that institutional facilities are not used, you do not advertise the availability of your services, you do not provide a playing lesson, you do not receive payment from someone other than the recipient or the recipient's family, and the appropriate compliance paperwork is completed.
Can I start a GoFundMe page?
Generally, student athletes cannot use their name, picture, or athletics reputation in connection with crowdfunding websites like GoFundMe, because it and similar websites are commercial entities. If you have a situation arise where you would like to start a crowdfunding campaign, speak to the compliance staff.
Thanks, Mr. Dell.
Athletic scholarships are generally one-year agreements. During the period of the award, a scholarship can be canceled or reduced only for the reasons stated on your scholarship. Those reasons include rendering yourself ineligible, violating team rules of the Student-Athlete Code of Conduct, and violating the Big Sky Conference's serious misconduct rule. As a student athlete, you can receive aid from only permissible sources. Those sources include Weber State Athletics, Weber State academic and departmental scholarships, federal financial aid such as Pell Grants and student loans, aid from anyone who are naturally or legally dependent, such as parents or legal guardians, and permissible outside scholarships, provided that those awards meet NCAA rules. Also in the realm of financial aid is the NCAA Special Assistance Fund. This is money provided to each member institution to benefit student athletes. Weber State uses its SAF on SAC programming, emergencies and hardships like the cost for a flight to attend the funeral of a family member, academic services, summer school, 5th and 6th year aid, and graduate school placement exams. If you take the GMAT, GRE, LSAT, MCAT, or any other graduate school exam, we will reimburse the cost of one test one time during your student athlete career. Starting this coming academic year, an award of athletic financial aid can be given only if you meet the conditions of the Big Sky Serious Misconduct Rule. You are not able to participate on a Weber State team or receive an athletic scholarship if you have been convicted of or pled guilty to or no contest to a felony or misdemeanor involving serious misconduct, or if you have been subject to official university or athletic department disciplinary action at any time during enrollment at any collegiate institution for serious misconduct. Serious misconduct may include any act of sexual violence, domestic violence, dating violence, stalking, sexual exploitation, or any assault that employs the use of a deadly weapon or that causes serious bodily injury.
As student athletes who are subject to both the NCAA and Weber State's drug testing programs, both the NCAA and Weber State have drug testing policies that must be followed if you want to maintain your eligibility to compete. You are required to show up for all drug tests. Failure to show up for a test is treated the same as a positive test. Penalty for a failed NCAA drug test is typically a loss of 1 year of your seasons of competition and a suspension from competition for at least 1 calendar year. Your athletic scholarship can be canceled or reduced if you fail an NCAA drug test. Failing a second NCAA drug test typically leaves you permanently ineligible in all sports. The NCAA banned drugs list is the same that is used by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, except for glucocorticoids. Please be careful with what you put in your bodies at all times. Even drugs that you not normally think has a problem can lead to a positive test. For example, asthma and ADHD medications are considered banned substances without a valid prescription. It is also important to pay attention to what supplements you are taking. The supplement market is not strictly regulated, so make sure to contact your strength and conditioning staff before you begin to take your supplement.
Hey, so how many years you got left? I played 1 year before I left on a 2-year church mission, and I came back and I only had 2 more years to play on my 5-year clock. I'm sad.
Compliance, Carl. Student athletes have 5 calendar years and up to 4 seasons of competition in the sport. The 5-year clock starts when you first enroll as a full-time student at any college or university. The clock continuously runs until the end of the 5-year eligibility period is completed. There are exceptions to this, such as service on an official church mission or active duty military service. It's important to know that except in exhibition games and informal practice scrimmages, any amount of competition in the season triggers the use of one of your 4 seasons of competition. Except in football, participating on 1 play in 1 game counts the same as playing in every minute of every game for this rule. In football, student athletes can now participate in up to 4 games in a season without using a season of competition. Not completing at all in any contest means that you have redshirted. The 5-year rule allows for 1 redshirt season, multiple seasons lost to circumstances outside of your control, such as 2 medical hardships or a forced redshirt in your first year, and a later medical hardship can qualify you for an extension of the 5-year period.
That means I have 4 more years to play 3 more seasons?
Correct.
I love you, Compliance, Carl.
Hey, you're trash! Nice shot, Dick! Hey, you need to eat more chicken!
Oh yeah! This isn't fair. I lost my eyeball and I only played in 2 games, and it counts as one of my 4 seasons of competition. Compliance, Carl!
A medical hardship, commonly known as a medical redshirt, occurs when you compete during a season but then become injured or ill to the point where you can no longer play. We can apply for a medical hardship to restore that season of competition if you suffered an incapacitating injury or illness, did not compete in more than 30% of your team season, and did not compete past the halfway point of your team season.
That is good news.
Good practice today, huh?
On water, one of the best we ever had.
Where you out to now?
You already know I'm gonna go get ready and practice with my club team. We undefeated. One of the best.
Compliance, Carl!
During the academic year, except in limited circumstances, a student athlete may not participate on any outside team in any non-collegiate amateur competition. Some exceptions that may be available are Participating in intramurals, competition outside declared playing and practice season during any official vacation period, or individual unattached competition while not wearing your Weber State uniform, not receiving expenses from Weber State, and not receiving instruction from your coach. If you competed on an outside team this past summer, your participation must stop when your team's practice begins.
Ring ring!
Hello? Hi, Mom. No, I don't know how many hours we're allowed to practice this week. Oh, I gotta go. It's compliance, Carl.
What's up? When your team is in season, student athletes cannot participate in required practice for more than 20 hours in a week, and not more than 4 hours in a day. Competition days count as 3 hours, regardless of how long the competition takes, and coaches are required to provide 1 day off per week. When teams are out of season, the rules change. Athletes cannot practice more than 8 hours a week. In all sports except football, no more than 4 of these hours may be devoted to skill instruction, and the rest of the hours must be spent doing strength and conditioning activities. In football, skill instruction is not permitted, but you are permitted to do up to 2 hours of film review each week. When you are out of season, coaches must also provide 2 days off per week. This table shows which kinds of activities are accountable and which kinds are not. Coaches are required to report your weekly hours to compliance. You have the chance to verify CARA logs through Jump Forward, so make sure you are checking your emails. Your coaches cannot see the responses to the logs submitted, and verifying logs is the only way we can verify you are not exceeding the daily and weekly hour limitations.
Hi, I'm a Weber State superfan. Are you the one who got your eye knocked out by a chicken? Yes. Well, you're my favorite player, and I hope you're good for next season.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Compliance, Carl! Ah! My eye!
As a student athlete, you cannot accept anything that is not available to the general student body or the general public. Extra benefit rules apply to yourself as well as your friends and family. Some examples of extra benefits include free or reduced cost transportation, lodging, training expenses, food, clothing, and financial loans. As a simple rule of thumb, you cannot accept any discount that is not available to the general public. As a student athlete at Weber State, you may receive complimentary admissions for games in which you participate. These tickets are for your family and friends. It is impermissible for you to sell or receive an item of value for a spot on the pass list. This rule applies to the people you include on the pass list. It is not all bad news though. The NCAA does allow you to accept benefits that are not available to all Weber State students or to the general public. These benefits include academic expenses, career development resources, health care, travel to represent Weber State, including the receipt of rewards points or frequent flyer miles for those trips, and meals and snacks. A little bit to the right, to the left, right there, right there. All right, let me see that. Oh my goodness, this is definitely Instagram worthy. Okay. To Instagram, thank you at Adidas. I love this outfit. I wear it every game. Oh, and thank you at Power Bar for helping me with my physique. That is so awesome. About to post it.
Give me that.
Oh my goodness, compliance, Carl. My Instagram followers need me. I need to post that.
Everyone has social media, but it is important to remember what is permissible and impermissible to post. First, use common sense. Assume all posts are public and don't post anything you would not want your family to see. The NCAA prohibits posting information about injuries and PSA recruitment. Student athletes cannot publicize a prospect's recruitment, visit a campus, or their commitment to Weber State University. This past year, we have had several violations because student athletes have been creating social media posts that were promoting commercial entities. These commercial entities have included personal trainers, food companies, and local clothing companies. Do not model for, promote, or tag a commercial entity in social media posts. You will be immediately ruled ineligible and will have to go through the student-athlete reinstatement process, even if you did not receive payment or were not directed to by the commercial entity to make the posts.
Thank you for letting me know, Compliance Carl. Can I have my phone back? Okay. Corey, right here. Oh my goodness, that is so Instagram worthy. Hashtag compliance. Hashtag compliance Carl. Hashtag rules rule.
$20 buy in our fantasy football league this year. You want in?
Oh yeah, you got Venmo?
Oh, off top. Hold on, your hands. Did you wash your hands? Come on, just tell me you wash your hands, bro. Did you wash your hands?
The NCAA prohibits student athletes and staff members from engaging in sports wagering. Violations occur when you agree to give up an item of value for a chance to win an item of value. This most commonly includes money, but you can also include betting things like meals, clothing, etc. The NCAA's prohibiting on-sports wagering applies on any level of sport which the NCAA conducts a championship. This includes high school, college, and professional events. Engaging in sports wagering activities will make you ineligible immediately. Some examples of impermissible betting can include fantasy leagues, Super Bowl pools, and NCAA tournament pools. If a student athlete is caught point shaving or gambling on Weber State athletics events, you are permanently ineligible in all sports. Sports wagering is one of the quickest ways to lose your eligibility. Please note that the recent changes to laws regarding sports wagering have not affected the NCAA's ban on sports wagering. Remember to be smart on what you do with your free time, and always remember, don't bet on it. What are you guys pointing at? Compliance Carl!
So that is a brief introduction to the rules of the NCAA, the Big Sky Conference, and Weber State University. I hope you learned a thing or two that will help make your transition here much more successful. As always, our staff is here to assist you. You can stop by and see Will Pridemore, Dell Brown, and Riley Matthews, our compliance staff, anytime, or feel free to come by my office located on the second floor of Stewart Stadium. I'm wishing you the best for a great year. Be safe, be a good representative of Weber State, and enjoy yourselves this year. Go Wildcats!